blah 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 blah. Goodness gracious, cry us all a fucking river. Y'all do know that black men in real life do not behave that way, right? You do know that that's not a norm for black men. It's not. It really isn't. They don't come to social media and cry, 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 cry a river for 25,000 fucking years. But I will say this, that it is a, I choose not to be insulted by people being upset about my opinion about something, but then coming on here and not actually addressing what it is that they're upset about. That's fine. Just know that I'm better than you because I know how to state what I say. I said what I said. I don't have to debate or argue with nobody. And you're an embarrassment and disgrace to the black community. Okay, so let's talk about it. So I said a lot, and yes, I am very intelligent. I'm not dumb enough to make death deals with complete strangers on the internet. Definitely very intelligent, definitely. Always have been. Okay. Um, Seems like to me they're mad because of the live streams that I did. They're upset about me talking about King Solomon. They're upset about me saying that you should not practice witchcraft while being a Christian. And I know that that has something to do. First of all, if you can't emotionally handle other people's opinions, just stay out of social media. Just don't talk to nobody. Put yourself in isolation. Go ahead and order you a straight jacket off of eBay or some fucking place and just strap yourself the fuck up because everybody is going to have a fucking opinion about everything. Goodness gracious. If you can't mentally, intellectually, or emotionally handle other people's opinion, stop coming to social media. Stop talking to people. You obviously can't handle a simple conversation. Obviously. Okay? So, everything that I say and said, let me look at the titles of the videos, you guys, that they crying about now. Cry, 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 cry me a goddamn river. Hold on. I did a total of 3 shows yesterday, 3 live streams. One of them titled, oh, I got work to do. I see I still ain't did my reading. Because I'm going to start doing guidance readings for those of you witches with our Christian men. Y'all are going to love that. I'm going to let it be a surprise, surprise as to when I actually upload it. Okay. All right. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Okay. Well, the one that probably pissed them off was another reason to choose Divine Services Apothecary. I think that that's what set them off. And they think that if they send, uh, some kind of ignorant person to social media, that that's going to stop it. Um, so I think the main ones is what happened to all of those clients. The fake ones tried to help. Blah, blah, blah. If you did unethical ish. Hold on. I need to monetize these videos too. Hey, every little bit counts. Cause you want it to be elite. Please don't expect me to work for free. So they're upset about those last 3 or 4 lives, and most of these people are black people who call themselves fighting for equality while trying to take away the equality from black people out in the open, doing everything. Hey, Stevan, hey, brother, doing every freaking thing that nobody likes and then wondering why nobody likes them. So I said what I said. There are a lot of people who are of an opinion that you shouldn't be mixing witchcraft practice with the Bible. I would not be the only one that feels that way. Like, literally, like, I would say a majority of people that know anything about witchcraft and religion feels that way. Some of these people are the only people that literally, like, I'm going to insult you and I'm going to try to oppress you, and why would that even be necessary? For what? If what you're doing works for you, which it clearly doesn't, clearly is having money is not the only thing that matters. There's so many different elements that you need. There are people that literally are in their 20s and 30s and they drop dead. They got cancer. They got all kind of problems. And they got millions of dollars. So money does not always make you just the it. You know what I'm saying? That's just not it, right? But they're angry about that. And then they're probably angry about what I said about King Solomon. Well, it's the truth. King Solomon did burn babies. He sacrificed babies. He did to Moloch. It's literally, I think it's documented in the Bible. The reason why I brought up King Solomon is because King Solomon practiced witchcraft. He was a Christian witch. If you're a Christian witch and you had an issue with what I said, I'm not sorry, because listen, ever since people started practicing Christian witchcraft, tell the truth, the spiritual community has imploded. It has become one of the most toxic places ever. It has. Let's keep it real. It's very chaotic. I am not of an opinion that you should mix it as a practice. Now, does that mean that a Christian man or woman can't marry or be with or be happy and blissful and serene with a pagan? No. See, a relationship is not a practice. A relationship is not a business transaction. I don't agree with that either. And I've heard people say that. No, you're not going to make my love relationship a business practice. No. I love him and I will drag myself. I will drag myself for him. For him. Okay? I will go through the depths of hell for him 24/7. Okay, y'all don't know him, and it's unfortunate that you can't because of other situations, but obviously, especially when you got stalkers that are so nutty that they have to deny that he exists, and then also they want to convince people that you look like a actual skeleton, an actual like I look like a skeleton, y'all, which is weird. That's why some people need to stay away from that. Stay away from the spiritual community. Stay away from that because you're not ready for that. You're not fit for this. You're not. That doesn't even make any sense. What are you talking about? But anyway, I think that this is where this aggression is truly coming from. I really do. And I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Getting back to the discussion, though, that I wanted to talk about mixing Christianity with witchcraft. No, absolutely not. I don't think that that is the best thing for you nor anybody else. And mixing it, no, no. You don't even have to do that if you make mistakes in the craft. And trust me, they have made many, many, many mistakes. They have. I've made mistakes. I haven't made the mistakes that some people I've witnessed making. You know what I'm saying? But um, yeah, it just some people just don't have common sense. I'm not saying that about Christian witches. You know what I'm saying? If you can make that work for you, fine. But I just think that to me, that seems more dangerous than Satanism, if you ask me. To me, right? That's just my opinion. Okay. And then also, I was mainly speaking about some of these people that, they're literally trying to have a little riot or whatever over me, right? And so I think it's fear. You know you messed up. You know you didn't do right. You know you made mistakes. You know you didn't use discernment. You didn't. And then when it became obvious, then you couldn't admit that you were wrong. And then you said, well, who cares? You're a woman. Who cares? You're a black woman. Who cares? You're a single mother. Who cares? Your children are bastards. And I really don't get down with that. There is a lot about religion that I don't agree with, right? But I can understand. I can understand why, obviously, it would be better for a woman to be in the security and the stability of a marriage before she gives birth to children. Absolutely. However, if that relationship is toxic, abusive, then, I don't agree with the whole sentiment that you can't divorce. There are a lot of people that are divorced hollering about Christianity. That's a sin in Christianity. I mean, if you were to read the entire Bible back to back, you're not supposed to eat shrimp, lobster, but a lot of people do it. Does that mean that they're not Christian? No, but I'm just bringing up, like, little things. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that people primarily really like to do that for social reasons, for social acceptance. I do. But what does it mean? Does it mean that people can trust you anymore? No, it doesn't. Everything is exposed. We see you. So that doesn't mean that we're going to not see your obvious flaws just because you say that, well, I'm Christian and I'm a witch. So my sentiments about it, okay, is that the reason, maybe perhaps the reason why a lot of people say that is because of Jesus. A lot of people um, work with Jesus and they practice the craft. And that's fine. But I know of people, and I've witnessed them and seen them trying to conjure the energies of revelations, of, just vengeance and war. And I'm going to tell you that's number one, you're having a temper tantrum. Number one, and I'm going to also tell you that paganism existed for millions, probably, if not billions. They didn't call it paganism until Christianity moved in and labeled everything, right? But I can promise you that there have been wars fought and that witches have figured out a way to get past that evil and just that chaos. Which, by the way, it done started raining again, y'all. Which, by the way, I think existed far before religion was even thought of. Because a lot of the primordial goddesses, the goddess is all about serenity and peace and order. Religion brings in so much destruction. And mainly that destruction is being pointed at women and children. And we all know that. So I'm not, that is a fact. And what do some of these males and females, what have they been doing every day trying to bring about destruction to me, which they'll never be able to, but that's what they want. That's what they think that they want until the wrecking ball drops on them and they're going to figure out that maybe you should have wanted something better. Especially when you're claiming that you're Christian and you're devout, but yet you're stalking me because I didn't want to make love to a white woman. That's pretty much, the people that try to come on here and give me a hard time. The reason why they're doing that is because I did not want to have sex with a woman, period. But, this particular white woman, she knew exactly where to go to find a bunch of easily suggestible Negroes, okay? you know? It's almost like a bunch of men that's saying, be a lesbian and be with them because I know I can't have you. And if I can't have you, can't no man have you. So go to no man's land. No, no, never. It's ridiculous. It really is. If y'all think about it subconsciously. Like literally, I have a bunch of unwanted boyfriends and girlfriends on here. It's ridiculous. It is. And nobody that is heterosexual wants to be cool with it. Like I can't, what am I supposed to do? Fuck all of you? I'm supposed to have sex with a bunch of people? I don't get down like that. In fact, I'm more than likely to cut your ass. I'm more than likely to slice you up with my sword as opposed to having sex with you. So these are people that are so-called, the saying pimping in the pulpit, because black people got their own version of Christianity a lot of the times. It's really ridiculous. And it's like, listen, it is what it is. You cannot get mad at me for not being a hoe. They're actually upset with me because I'm not a whore. Now, isn't that funny? Because then if I was a whore, I'd be like, yeah, let me have sex with all of you so that you won't roast me. No. Yeah, no. Okay. So, and I think that a lot of religious people that I've seen behaving that way, it's not about God, it's about their sexual dysfunction. It is. It's about having a horrifying sexual dysfunction out of this world, which I don't think you're really practicing any kind of spirituality to begin with. I really don't. Okay, your sex magic is very important, but that ain't magic. That's just cringe. And I would not be able to live with myself if I were just consistently obsessed with one person that didn't want anything to do with me. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. But I guess there are some people that are different. Perception is everybody's own little personal reality. But yeah, I know for a fact that that's what it's about. And I don't care about what you're saying. Okay, you're okay. You're a powerful witch that can make me homeless, kill my kids, possess my uncle. You can do all this shit, but yet you're upset because I said that I didn't agree with Christianity being practiced with witchcraft. Make that make sense. You can't. Why would you give a fuck about what I think? I'm a nobody to you, right? Well, technically, I'm not a nobody. I will tell y'all straight up and down that we got some clowns running around here. They are actually trying to sacrifice people, utilizing Leviticus. Witches have known for thousands of years how to deal with that. Okay. And for me as a witch, I don't bother Christians. I don't do anything to Christians. I love Christians. I have no issue with that. What I have an issue with is people that take it there. People that go there. Okay? And then also another thing, I think that Christianity kind of it's making a lot of these males very delusional, because when it's time for them to let go, they don't believe that they have to let go. So then look at them. It's like you ever see a sore trying to heal and it's scabbing over, and you just keep taking the scab off so that it won't heal, so that it won't go away, and you're leaving a scar on yourself. This does not look good. You consistently going on and on and on and not letting go of a person or a situation that you need to let go of. You do not, that looks dumb to me. That looks dumb that you can't, that you can't just say, you know what? This is it. Especially when it does not benefit you at all. It doesn't. It just makes you look crazy. Stevan, am I lying? You just, no matter how you spin it, no matter how you try to justify it, even if you're supposedly you're at war, right? We're at war? No, I don't think so. There is no war. When the person that you're at war with, they're saying, "Hey, bye. Hey, I recede. I concede. I don't want anything to do with this war. Please stop lying on me. Don't do that anymore. You know you're not supposed to do that. I'm walking away." The moment that you start running up behind somebody, that's exactly, that's when you lost all your credibility a long time ago. Every day, every single day, especially when you're trying to force somebody to be in your weird, twisted, odd congregation. That's weird to me. That's weird to everybody that is witnessing it. You look crazy. So then you'll say, well, you know what? Let me do some Christian let me do some Christian witchcraft to convince the world that we must trap this woman and beat her and rape her. It's like, what? No, we got to convince people that that's what you're here for. No. And and most normal people are disgusted by you, especially when you keep talking about sex. Listen, subtlety, it's beautiful. I'm subscribed to a lot of black men on this website. Number one, some of them you never hear them talking about sex. A man that never talks about sex is a turn on for me, except for my significant other. He that's his job to talk to me about sex. But it makes a person more. Nobody wants to sit and listen to a man talk about sex unless they're a pervert. And some of the people that I'm subscribed to, they be kind of partially on that thing to where, they be, kind of on that thing like to where they be, kind of talking about that whole situation, with women and the battle of the sexes. I can deal with that. I can deal with a little bit of it unless you expose yourself as just kind of being just like, oh, wow. Wow, no, I can't listen to this. Okay. Um, because there's no balance there. It's it that's it's got to be balanced, or it can't be anything. I can't, because if it's not balanced, if it's off balance, no, I can't deal with that. But it's disgusting. It's disgusting to hear a lot of these guys on here talking about sex, and they're doing it because they want to try to make themselves appear to be more attractive, or they want to be more interesting. They're not doing it just to kind of share, because there's times when I've talked about sex a little bit, but I don't do it in that context. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do it often. Just the thing, when you come to social media and everything that you discuss leads to people looking at you as an antisocial person. And I, for one, am not entertained by crazy people. That's a mental illness. That's like antisocial disorder. How would y'all feel if I just came over here and started describing the last time I had sex? Y'all would be like, TMI, Jamila, TMI. You know what I'm saying? Like subtlety. And I just turned 49 going on 27. So it starts to become even more sacred the older that you get. Like the older, like for me at least, everybody doesn't feel that way, but for me, and so I just, if people are not actually enjoying your content or your vibe, they just are not. It's not my fault, you know. Hey Savannah, hello. So I just, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I can't really just, and then especially when you're coming from a place of sexual abuse. Nobody that is in love, nobody that is happy wants to hear a man sexually abusing any woman. That's disgusting. Whoever enjoys that is just weird. It's just weird, you know. So yeah, it's interesting that you came in here, Savannah, because I know why Savannah is here, right? And it's like, why are you talking about this woman, and what does sex have to do with it? It's very weird. It's very weird. I don't know how you feel about that, Savannah, but it's gross. It's absolutely gross. It is. To me, it's gross. Yeah, yeah. I don't like that. I don't. And they've gotten worse. these people have gotten worse, and no, and it's weird. It is. It's like what, and it's almost like, are you trying to avoid having a real conversation? It's just, yeah. It's and oh God, it's not. It's disrespectful. It's crass. It's a turnoff. It's not enjoyable for me, at least. It isn't. And Savannah, you notice how they're very strange when they say that you want the attention. And it's like, what? They'll go all the way over in Timbuktu with some craziness, and they'll say you wanted this. And it's like, no, it's weird. It's weird. You may have been making a comment about something that you saw or a situation, and they'll start sexually harassing you. And it's, yeah, it's very weird. It really is. I enjoy your content though, Savannah. I do. I do. I swear I do. Your photographs that you use, but it is what it is. I know. But well, the thing of it is that they're supposed to be roasting, but they're doxing and harassing people's family, that because they can't emotionally handle what they're doing. It's weird. So then you're not roasting. It's never been like that. It's just been people's families being attacked for years. So we know that the whole roasting thing, that's a front. That's a front. And so, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to talk about that, Savannah, because it's not just what you think it is. It's not, hopefully you don't have to ever see it for what it actually is. You know what I mean? Because it's a front. The whole roasting thing is a front. They make up lies about people. That's not roasting. They lie. Okay. And but at the same time, they're trying to mix in spirituality with it. They're trying to merge that with my spiritual community. In fact, like, they're speaking directly to my spiritual community, right? And it's just like, no. I can understand being a collective, but if something is just goofy, it's just goofy. And then at the end of the day, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, I'm Christian, or I'm a witch. I even seen the word Christo witch. Hey, but at the end of the day, they'll say, oh, well, witchcraft is evil. That's getting back on what I was talking about. So while you're practicing witchcraft and Christianity, you think that you're evil? Like, you feel bad about yourself for being a witch? That kind of doesn't make any sense to me. And then and I think that you would have to, I think that if you're not doing what we call a necessary evil, because some things that are being labeled as evil is necessary. Like, for example, if somebody walked up to you and was getting ready to bust you upside your head with a metal pipe, and you did a jujitsu move on them and stabbed them before they were able to harm you, are you evil for stabbing somebody that was about to take your life? Nope. I'll answer the question for not for you. This, I guess there's some people that have a different opinion. I am of an opinion that if you are defending yourself and the people that you love, you're not evil. Those people that you have to defend yourself against, they need to stop. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is. And even some people that aren't. I'm definitely not a war type of person, even though I'm good at it. I don't prefer that. I prefer peace. Everybody deserves their peace. Everybody. You know what I mean? And I okay, here's another thing that I don't like. I was gonna mention this. I don't like how they try to make it seem like they're so auspicious. No, you're not. As far as with my uncle, I'm gonna use that as an example. They thinking that they're so powerful, right? They want people to think that they're powerful, and they put my my uncle under some kind of suggestion or something like that. Okay, so I've been dealing with it for 13 years. My uncle had never dealt with it, unless you can prove to me that he's just been a part of it the whole time, which I doubt it. So you're a person that's used to going to work, coming home, watching TV, going to bed, cutting your grass, living a normal, peaceful life. And then all of a sudden, chaos is on your telephone. Who wants to be bothered with that? Nobody wants to be bothered with a bunch of chaotic people, yeah, that's calling their phone. I'd be pissed too. What is this? Who are these people? Well, I didn't feel this way. I wasn't feeling this way until you came along. They're calling for you. Being a toxic, chaotic, diabolical, just to the point where people just don't like your energy in general, that does not make you powerful. And obviously, they never turn it off. It's like a constant toxic drip of goo and sludge. And especially on that side, especially those folk. So you going at the right person, Savannah, because I'm telling you, that person is out. Next time you go, because I subbed. Next time you go live, I'm just gonna let you know. Ooh, my goodness gracious. It just constant, constant, constant. That's all they have to offer to social media is this constant negativity. And it's just like people don't always want to hear that most of the time. Most of the time, people don't want to be bothered with that crap. Most of the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Really, really very miserable. Like I said, Savannah, if you ever have to um, report them, because no matter what you've done, no matter what photo or video you've shown, there should never be any contacting of anybody's family. There should never be any real life stalking, and that's real life stalking. So if you ever need me to testify, I can do. I'm there if you need a witness, because they go too far with it. They don't know how to not go too far. Messing with your children and messing with your family and trying to mess with your job. And I just only regret that they have not been gone yet. But and some of the main ones that are doing that, the reason why they don't basically have a sector, they don't. It's not even that, right? It doesn't exist. The main ones doing all the doxing and all that weird stuff. And it's just like, y'all, and I think that they're too embarrassed to just leave social media. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get in. I mean, they try to do plenty to embarrass me. You can't embarrass and humiliate me. You know what I mean? They can't do it. That's ridiculous. That's just like saying that a woman that got sexually assaulted should be shamed because she got sexually assaulted. Come on now. I don't even know anywhere where they're doing that at, and I'll never be present at that location ever. For real. And they just don't get it. And you know what? Trying to talk to them with any good sense is not going to help. They're not going to listen to reason. You're never going to get an intelligent conversation out of them because it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? You ain't going to get no intelligent conversation out of them. They may try to make sense in the beginning, but trust me, after a while, it's gonna fall by the waysides, and then the next thing you know, you'll just be getting a mirage of insults and accusations. And I tell you what, I got proof on it's called the Real Witches of the South channel. I got those videos on private, but I got proof as to when the first time I discovered that something was really, really wrong in that situation. That was years ago. That was 10 years ago when I realized that. I was like, oh my God, these people can't be reasoned with. No, they don't want no truth or nothing. They can't handle the truth. No. They will never be able to handle the truth. It's all got to be something. It's no matter what you look like, no matter what you do, you can cam up. You're always gonna they're always gonna accuse you of using a filter. They're always gonna say this, no matter how decent you look, no matter how decent you behave, no matter what's going on there. It's just pure negativity all the time is what it is. It doesn't matter. You know, you can say potato, they're gonna say potato. So and it just does no good going back and forth. But they want to be spiritual, though. I'm telling you. Oh, thank you, Hakavori. Thank you. Or maybe you were talking to Savannah. I don't know if you were talking to me. Could have been talking to Savannah. But this just is terrible. It really is. And I know I don't want to be bothered, but I'm not gonna just be quiet. They need to be quiet. They always trying to tell somebody to shut up about something, but it's them that needs to shut up. Please, immediately shut up. Is it still raining out here? Yep. Yep, it's raining. So anywho, y'all, yeah, that, and I don't even live in the same reality that they do. What reality do you live in to where you have problems with a landlord and you're just homeless the rest of your life? The hell? Oh no, I'm a loser. I had problems with a landlord. I might as well just give up on life. Oh God, that. No, that's not the way that works. No, and I'm not gonna have this debate. Or here's a big one. Well, you never had financial freedom before, so why make you think you gonna have it now? Like I'm not like, hey, that's like some obvious shit. Like, no, I'm not gonna have this discussion with you. You know what I mean? It's weird. Anywho. Oh, oh, thank you, Hakavori. Thank you. So anywho, yeah, I said what I said. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of Christian witches that probably heard what I said, and you know they stayed level-headed. They're not just gonna, oh, I'm gonna attack you. I'm gonna prove that. How are you gonna prove that? Are you gonna prove it by blessing me or cursing me? I'm gonna prove it by cursing you. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Oh my God, it's crazy. It is. So, anyway. I hope today, I wish everybody a very positive and happy Friday. Okay, that's all I know. You know what I mean. Have a good weekend, everybody. Like I said, it's gonna be a surprise when I put up that reading, the initial reading, because I do want to help witches that might be struggling with relationships, and then not just witches, not just everybody, but I think that hell, you don't even have to be a witch to have issues with the crazy judgment of Christianity. So you know. Thank you, Savannah. Y'all have a great day too. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. It's 5:20. I gotta go. I'm tired. I'm out of juice. Y'all have a good one, okay?